green light. Go, go, go.
Right then, good evening ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another one of these brilliant TOGA streams. We are getting ready to go here in the Backwards Championship for another race on a Sunday night. This time we are set just north of Barcelona here at the beautiful Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. Racing what many consider now to be the old layout, with that final clunky chicane, which we have all had many unfortunate run-ins with, I'm sure. But we are absolutely getting ready to go tonight. It's going to be a good one, I guarantee you, so you are going to want to stick around. Sorry about this, I am just sorting some stuff out really quickly. There we go, now we're ready to go. I believe you guys can all hear me. Just going to make sure. Yes, you can. Wonderful. But yeah, we are ready to go here for another night of racing at TOGA. We've got a slightly larger grid than we did last time out, with 22 drivers checked in. So far, only 18 in the session, but I'm sure we'll have more and more coming. Got lots of guys starting laps, finishing laps. No one's setting a lap as of yet, though. We do have this 11 minutes left of free practice before we get into the qualifying session, which is 20 minutes long. Obviously free practice not as important, more for getting a feel for the track, making sure everything setup wise is working before we get into all the racing stuff. Hayden has got a yellow flag next to his name. Yeah, it looks like he's gone off in that final chicane and has called it a lap and has come back in. Here comes Airy Fasttail to set the first fully timed lap. What is it? It's a 1 minute 46.6. We will see people going faster than that. Yep, as I say that immediately, Van Dijk does a 1 minute 45.525. I am missing some liveries, but I believe that is not my fault. At least I hope it's not. And Van Broek goes just behind, just to almost 3/10 off the pace at the moment in the 226 McLaren. Vandenbroek, wow, that's a name for sure. Still only 18 drivers in the lobby at the moment. We should be getting more coming along in the next couple of minutes. At least I would dearly hope that we do. To pad out this grid and make for some more brilliant racing. But yes, 18 drivers as it stands, 9 minutes left of this free practice session as Lindner goes to the top of the timing sheets now with a 45.505, just 200ths in front of Van Dijk in that number 42 Porsche. We've got lots of drivers currently going round on laps. Stevens is about to cross the line and take some time out of his best lap, puts in P5 at the moment, just behind Airy Fasttail. Lots of drivers, I think, more kind of warming up feeling out the track than going full push mode off the bat. As Vena, I don't know. Oh, round he goes on that second curb. It's an easy thing to do. He will transport back to the pit lane, I would expect, and he does. As Junior goes to the top of the timing sheets with a 1:44.1. No surprises there. That number 10 Ferrari has been very quick at every round so far this season. Of course, here we are. We are on round 3 of the September Showdown. Getting ready to go. We've got about 8 minutes of this free practice session left before we move into a 20-minute qualifying and then an hour-long race with a mandatory fuel and tyre stop. And it's going to be needed around here. The tyres get eaten around this track as Fernando now moves himself up. Does the exact same lap time as Van Dijk, just ahead of him, a 1:45.047. The 42 and the 23, Porsche and McLaren respectively, sharing at the moment that P3 spot with the exact same time on the board. 19 cars now in this lobby. That's the kind of number we want to see. The closer we get to 20, the better in my eyes. Just makes everything a little bit more lively. But welcome along to everyone who is currently here. Thank you for being with me here on this Sunday evening for what I'm sure is going to be some brilliant racing around Barcelona as Fernando just runs far too wide there. Just a little bit early on the loud pedal and drifts wide coming out of turn 5. Very easy thing to do. What's happened to Kolgov? I don't know. Didn't manage to get there in time because my mouse glitched out. Wonderful. Oh, improving his Junior across the line. It's a 43.747. First man into the 43s. That is very, very quick from him. Not his best Sector 3 though. That's interesting. So he lost time overall in Sector 3, but gained a lot through that first and final sector. Another man who had a decent run last week at Indy, Silverio, in that number 400 BMW. Interesting to see some people opting, it would appear, not to run at all in this session, which is an interesting strategy to take. And yeah, Silverio goes up to P7, immediately knocked off by Stevens, who does a lap time good enough for P7, just 5 thousandths faster in that number 100 AMG. With 5 minutes left to go of free practice, obviously, and I've already said it once, as we now hit 20 drivers, that is wonderful. Means we are going to get some proper good racing, which is always what you want. Hayden to the line goes P14, slowest of all at the moment, but he will improve on that time, knowing Hayden. People improving at the front. Fasttail is improving. Stevens takes a run into the gravel on the exit of that very corner that Airy Fasttail has just gone through. In fact, he's just invalidated on the exit of turn 5. Oh no, there is where Stevens went off, coming up to the 8-9 chicane, 7-8 chicane, sorry, of course, because turn 9 is over the crest here. Hiya Marco, how are you doing, mate? And Airy Fasttail still improving. Obviously, anyone who drove here in the Rookie Championship has got a little bit of an upper hand. An extra week's practice. They've driven the track in the race. So they do have a little bit of an upper hand, you might suggest. Fernando was rapid at in that rookie race, and in fact he's found 0.6 of a second just through those first 3 corners, which is mental. Fernando now may be going for what's a bit more of a quali run, low fuel, really just ragging everything he can out of that car. He's 0.7 up, dips back down to 6 coming into turn 5, but I expect he'll find more and more as this lap progresses. Keeps it the right side of that line this time through, up the hill through 7 and 8, the chicane, easy to get it wrong through here. That looks pretty nice. Through turn 9. That was looking pretty good as well. Only 0.5 up now as Stevens has had another moment. Oh no, he's waiting for people to go past on that main straight. But this lap could be good enough for P2 for Fernando. Again, this is only free practice, so how much it matters can be debated. But I think it's more of a statement from Fernando, just letting people know that he's going to be there or thereabouts as we do move into qualifying in just about 3 minutes time. Fernando 0.7 up out the final corner. That was nice on the power. Yeah, he's going to find himself solidly in P2 here. Crosses the line, goes 0.5 away from Junior, a 44.2. Vandenbroek has gone off. Where even is that? Oh, up at the top through turn 11 and turn 12. He's just getting out of people's way at the moment, I think. Piva in the number 55 Porsche. It was looking like a good lap. Got it wrong on the exit of that turn 10 hairpin. Fanara is on a decent lap. So is Hayden, finding time through the hairpin. Losing a little bit again up the hill, but finding more through that turn 11 and 12 sequence. Let's see out the end of this lap. On board with Hayden, he's going to find about 5.5 of a second. Oh, he gets majorly loose through the final corner, takes it down to 0.3. Yellow flags ahead. I believe that was Fanara who finished a lap and has then dove into the pits. Lots of people improving now. Vandenbroek is majorly improving. So is Fastel. So is Kolgov. And Vayner as well. Vayner. I still don't know how to say that man's name. I feel like I get it wrong every time, no matter what I do. Which is worrying, but oh well. Fanara has put himself P6, but there are improvements coming behind. Who's going to be the first to cross the line out of these lot that are improving? I think it will be Airy Fastel, won't it? It will be, although he's just lost all of that time that he'd gained. Let's have a look. Kolgov 0.6 up. That'll find him a couple of positions for sure. Oh, he goes well wide of the final corner. Would have been a 45.8. But it doesn't end that way. And Vayner had just started a lap, so he'll get to finish that. And I think, yeah, Fastel as well. Airy had just started a lap, so he'll get to continue his lap too. But Fastel pulls over into the pit lane. And Vayner has lost all... No, he hasn't. He's gained the time. Gained that time back, but this isn't the session that matters. Quali is the session that matters. Well, the race, realistically, is the session that matters, but quali matters more than this. So these free practice times don't have much standing in terms of anything to do with points. Or the race in general. But it'll be interesting to see if this number 974 BMW can continue to gain time and maybe claw up a couple of positions before we do get into qualifying proper. Sideways, and there goes all the time. It's going to be 3/10 found, and hopefully now we can move on to qualifying.
Green light, go, go, go.
Indeed we can. Moving on to qualifying. Here we go. People are moving around in the pit lane already. Linda is out, Gabriel is out, but a lot of people are out. I think Lindner is not the first car on track. Gabriel in that number 98 BMW is. I'm assuming that's going to be Hayden that's just dropped in on the official TOGA Motorsport account. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 20 minutes of qualifying action coming up now. It's going to be good. It's going to be quick. Well, at least the drivers will hope it will be quick. Because if it's not, then they're not going to have a particularly enjoyable race. But it is going to be brilliant to see how the pace stacks up in this brilliant field that we do have here. In the September Showdown. It is about to get very busy, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of cars out on track. Coming down towards the final chicane is where they're going to start spacing themselves out. That's where it's going to get busy. Looking for the best run out of that final chicane that they can get. Yeah, and look, lots of cars going very slowly towards that final sector. Just waiting for a gap. Waiting, and it's just going to continue rolling back. In terms of who has a yellow flag next to their name, as they all wait for a gap to be able to get a lap through. Of course, leave too much of a gap and you might be starting to have to worry about people behind you who are wanting to put in laps as well. So that'll be interesting to see. Not sure what Silverio is doing there. Going very slowly at the back for not much reason, I might suggest. Is Junior on a lap timing? 8/10 up. 8/10 up on what though? The best time he did in the last session? Because that would be stupid. I tell you what, we're just going to follow them as they come across the line. So Gabriel is going to be first, then it's Lindner who is catching Gabriel at quite a rate. Could have done with leaving a little bit more of a gap. It's not normal that I say that. But yeah, here we go. Through the final chicane. Lindner really got held up there. It is going to be a faster lap than Gabriel. These guys are going to set the benchmarks. What is it? Lindner does a 1:44.4. O'Sullivan comes across with a 1:45.1. Junior goes fastest with a 1:44.2. Van Dijk goes ahead of Gabriel. The number 42 Porsche does a 1:45.6. Then Jones in the Bentley, the number 48, does a 45.6 as well to go ahead of Van Dijk. Then Piva has gone ahead of Gabriel as well, as has Wiener in the 974 BMW, a 145.9. Bray in the 888 McLaren has also gone up there with a 144.540. Vandenbroek has just set a lap time 44.9 to put himself P4 as it stands. Stevens in the number 100 Mercedes AMG has gone up to P11, as well as, who was that? That was Kolgov in the number 11 McLaren, going for P6 with a 45.5, as Fernando comes through in the 23 McLaren to do a 44.5. And the McLarens currently line up 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 in quali. The only other McLaren is Longaname, who at the moment is sat down in P16. That was someone moving themselves up the order. Who was it? It was Silverio in the number 400 BMW, putting himself up to P11. Looking further down the order, Hayden sits in P15 at the moment, the number 29 machine. The double 6 of Brooken sits in P16 with a 47.1. And then Fastel and Fanara are yet to set a time, or a valid time at least. People now coming across the line again after what looks to be a cool down lap for most, and then pushing again on this one. But this is where it's really going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. This qualifying session is what is going to be important before this 1 hour race. Junior is up. Lindner also up, but now, yeah, losing out, whereas Junior just keeps on finding time. He's going to be back into the 43s before we know it. 13 minutes left to go of qualifying. Let's have a look. Junior coming around the final few corners. He's got 6/10 in hand. Fernando has gone to P2 with a 44.450. Linda is down. Junior is not. Junior still about 6/10 up. This is going to be a big lap time from him. It's going to be a 43.4. Oh, no, sorry, I did my maths wrong. A 43.655. That is mental. From him. Has anyone else moved themselves up the order? Fanara has gone to P6 straight off the bat, the number 20 Ferrari. And Tippy Boss has pulled over to go back to the pits, I'm going to assume. Piva now puts himself up to P5 in the number 55 Porsche. Very nice. Have we got any big improvements coming from further down the order? Van Dijk is up, but losing time now rather than gaining. Brucken was up, only gains a tiny bit in the end, doesn't gain him any positions, unfortunately. Looking for the big gainers. Fanara is about 0.3 of a second up, but he's got the rest of this lap to go, and he has got some slower traffic in front. Three-tenths up for Fanara would be big. That would put him P4 as it stands. No, P5, sorry. Wait, maths? Yes, P5. Yeah, P5. See, my brain works. I know what I'm talking about. It's professional commentary. You know, profesh. I get paid for it and stuff. I really don't. And Fanara backing out of that lap. Oh, Jones is on a massive gain here in the Bentley. He's been the double underdog so far. Oh, massive slide, but he's still gaining. He's going to lose on the exit of the chicane. He goes invalid, actually, and just cuts the pit entry. It's fair enough, can't blame him. Won't bother driving back down the pit lane. He'll just Oh, and Bray has put himself up to P2 actually, ahead of the number 23 McLaren of Fernando. So there's a change there for P2 as Fernando is hitting the yellow flag, so just down towards turn 1. And Junior still the fastest on track. And he actually improved again. I hadn't realised he's now on a 43,552 six-figure contract. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, six-figure contract, and 5 of them are my name. No, yeah. Let's have a look. Fanara improving again. I'm assuming he won't want to back out of it this time. Half of the quali session is gone. 10 minutes of qualifying remain. Or around about, anyway. That looked like someone going around in the background. It wasn't. Fanara losing that time over the top of turn 9. Yeah, Fanara doesn't gain in the end. Maybe the track just not biting the way these guys want it to. Longer name needs to find a lot of time at the moment. Down in 20th. Oh, Potter's joined. Wonderful. Not Harry. The other one. I don't know what his first name is. Graham. That's his first name, I think. Please tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident it is Graham Potter. So that takes our total to 21. He's in the 911 Aston. Not confusing at all, by the way. So if I say in the 911, I don't mean the Porsche. I mean, oh, and longer name blows it way deep at the final chicane. And loses all of that wonderful time that he had just gained. Looking back up at the front, Fanara again losing time on the exit of turn 9 and down that long straight. As Fernando triggers the yellow flags again. All gains at the front for Bray. He's coming through the chicane, still about 0.2 of a second up. It won't be enough to get him pole, but it could be enough to solidify that front row ahead of Fernando. 0.3 up now, almost 4. Takes a lot of that first curb and doesn't quite invalidate, but it has slowed him down. It's going to be 2.5 probably. Oh no, 0.3 over the line. It is 0.3 over the line. Gains him time on Junior, but not enough to move him up any positions. Jones still looking to improve on that P10 that he currently sits in. The number 48 Bentley. Still confuses me to say that. Don't understand why anyone would drive the Bentley in this day and age, but it works for him quite clearly. And Lindner is on a lap as well, but so is Fernando. He's on an out lap in these final 6.5 minutes. Lindner is improving by a lot. Lindner is improving by enough to take him to 3rd place, maybe 2nd, maybe challenge for pole if he keeps up this rate of gain. We will find out. 0.4, 4.5, almost 5, pushing really hard into that braking zone. And he's got it really well. 5, back down to 0.4, lost out on exit there. Still hovering around that 0.4. 0.5 there. It's not going to be enough for P2, but it is going to be enough for P3. As it stands, that is going to be enough for P3. He goes, yeah, slots into that P3 position at the moment, does Lindner in the 88 Ferrari. Looking further down the order, O'Sullivan is making up time. O'Sullivan was in one of the bigger battles during the Indianapolis race last time out as Potter pulls off the track. Van Dijk is gaining time. Jones is gaining time, but it's invalid. Junior setting off the yellow flags. Has he gone faster? He has. It's a 43.447 this time out. Lindner gaining again 0.2 of a second. O'Sullivan 0.2 of a second coming out the final corner. Will this find him time and positions? Yes, it will. It will move him to 6th. It does indeed move him to 6th, just ahead of Van Broeken in the 226 McLaren. Looking further down the order, the number 400 of Silverio is gaining as well, currently 0.2 up. We'll follow that a little bit closer later on, as Lindner again gaining 0.2 of a second. This could be for P2. Did he get P2? Yes, he did, by 0.06 of a second. Sorry, I'm trying to post the link in a Discord at the same time as doing this. So I will be trying to keep up with it as much as possible. O'Sullivan up now by about 0.4 of a second. There we go. O'Sullivan doesn't end up improving, pulls into the pits, sticks in P6 for now. Van Dijk's improving, Jones is improving. Oh, someone's just moved well up the order. Who was that? I think it was Airy Fastel, it was indeed. Does the exact same time as O'Sullivan, but just slightly later on, so isn't going to get that position on track, unfortunately, for him. Good evening, Rob. Thank you for joining me. As Jones moves up to P9 now, but I think, yeah, Van Dijk also moving up the order into P10. That puts Fanara and Tippy Boss outside of the top 10 now. But still improving. We've got Kolgov, massive improvement from him, almost 0.8. Where's that going to put him? P11. Kolgov goes in the number 11 McLaren. So satisfying when the numbers line up. Vandenbroek is going faster, but it is only turn 1 and turn 2. We'll wait and see how much he progresses through the rest of that lap. Jones in the 48 Bentley is gaining time as well, about 0.2 of a second at the moment. That would move him even further up, would put him possibly to P5. That would be a massive gain for Jones in that Bentley. It's a little bit boaty. This isn't its favourite track, but he's gaining the time and that's all he needs to do right now. Welcome along everyone who has just joined me in the last few minutes. Thank you for being here. We are going to get going into the race in just about a minute's time. Jones still almost 0.2 up. At the final corner it's only going to be 0.1, but that's still going to find him up to P6 if he can hold that. He's going to. It's going to be P6 for Jones. It is. In that number 48 Bentley, he goes to P6. That is a very, very good lap time from him. Looking further down the order, Vina still improving, but not by loads. This final chicane is going to be make or break for his lap. It's not great through there. He's not going to find a lot of time or any positions, unfortunately. And he doesn't. That's really disappointing for him. With just 27 seconds left to qualifying, who can just eke a little bit more time out of that lap? I'll tell you who probably can is Junior. Wouldn't surprise me if he gains another 10th or two. O'Sullivan as well, still gaining 2 tenths up, a 10th up. It's really swings and roundabouts around this track. You gain going into a corner and you lose coming out, and you gain coming out and you lose going in. It's all a bit of a mess. But Potter managed to put himself up to P19. If he can find 8 tenths of a second, that'll move him to P14. That'd be a really nice return for him, having only showed up at the start of this qualifying session. O'Sullivan doesn't get the lap that he needed. He invalidated. That's really unfortunate for him. Drivers not improving across the board at the moment. Lindner not improving as it stands. About a 100th off of his best time, a 10th off now. Losing time, losing time. Fanara is improving. This could be one to watch, because if he can find a couple of tenths, he could solidify himself right in that top bunch. He loses a lot of time coming out of that turn 12, almost hairpin, into the chicane. Can he just find a little bit more? He can. Is it going to be... Oh, no, he loses a little bit on the exit, but still, 800ths will find him possibly a couple of positions. Indeed, it does. To P10 goes Fanara, but I think that's going to be everything. Potter, yeah, returning to the pits. He stays in P16. Oh, no, so he did gain a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be everything. So, Junior qualifies on pole, the number 10 Ferrari, followed by the 88 Ferrari of Lindner. Then Bray in the 888 McLaren rounds out that top 3. Then we got the 23 McLaren, the 55 Porsche of Piva, sitting in the P5 position as well. I always like that. Then we got Jones in that 48 Bentley, very impressive. O'Sullivan in the 14 McLaren. You're going to notice a bit of a theme here with McLaren's doing well in this series. Airy Fastel is the first Aston Martin. The number 17 car sits in P8. Then in P9 we've got Vandenbroek in the 226 McLaren, who sits in P9. Rounding out the top 10 is Fanara in the number 20 Ferrari. Then we've got Van Dijk in the 42 Porsche. I believe the only 2 Porsches on the grid for this race. Indeed they are. Kolgov in the number 11 McLaren comes home P12 in that qualifying session, with Tippy Boss in the number 3 Ferrari just behind him. Tippy Boss is fast, so I don't expect him to stay down in P13 for long. Then we move into some triple digits for a bit. The 400 BMW of Silverio qualifies P14, with Stevens just behind him in the 100 Mercedes AMG. Then Potter, who turned up just at the start of this qualifying session in the 911 Aston Martin, qualifies in P16, with the 974 of Wiener, the BMW, just behind him in 17th. Then Brooken in the 66 Ferrari comes home P18, with Gariel in the 98 BMW and the 29 BMW of Hayden Sweet coming home 19th and 20th. Rounding out the grid for today is going to be Longer Name in the number 13 McLaren, and we are going to get ready to go racing. Can't even see him. Come on. There we go. That's a better shot. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash that like button before we move into the race here. It's going to be busy. It's going to be chaotic. Watch out for that turn 1. That is going to be busy on the first lap. So is that turn 10 hairpin. We've got a full formation lap here before we get going. Cars dropping off the jack stands as we move into just 15 seconds before we start this race. As we go around this formation lap, I am going to do a little bit of a shill, so if you don't want to hear it, then mute me for now. But ladies and gentlemen, as we move away for the formation lap here in Barcelona, make sure that you are subscribed to this TOGA YouTube channel, we bring brilliant racing all through the week. You name the day, we've probably got some racing. Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday, we have got racing going on all through the week. There is stuff on pretty much every night so far in this TOGA community. So if you have not yet subscribed, you are going to want to, because you are missing out on a whole load of brilliant, clean racing action if you haven't. Also, as a little incentive to subscribe to the channel, if we hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of December, me and my co-commentator Mac, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, are going to do a solo 6-hour race with the TOGA community. No loo breaks, obviously no driver swaps. Just do it completely solo and see how we get through. Obviously live streaming it as well. Commentators curse, clear racing, turn 1, 15 car pileup. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see. I hope I haven't cursed it. But if we hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of December, me and Mac are going to do the solo 6-hour race in the probably the worst GT3 that's ever existed, apart from maybe the Lotus, which was just shocking. We're going to do it in the Jaguar, which hasn't had a BOP update for a year and a half, at least, maybe even 2 years. Hasn't been run by a team since I want to say 15, maybe even 16. Game over, game over. Yeah, absolutely. Doing it in the Jag would be absolute pain. But it's what we're willing to. It's what we're willing to do for this community. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you do. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, make sure that you hit that as well if you are enjoying the stream. Here we go, coming down towards turn 10 now on the formation lap. It's going to get pretty spicy pretty soon. It is a rolling start, as it generally is for any form of GT racing. So we will see the grid forming up now as we come through turn 11 and turn 12. This is where we're going to start seeing the side-by-side procedure. Or the staggered procedure, I guess I should say. As we come towards the checkered flag to start an hour of intense GT3 racing. It's going to be busy. There is a mandatory pit stop for fuel and tyres in this race. We are going to stick with this front lot. When does the mandatory speed limit kick in? We'll wait and see. Here we go. Coming towards the green flag. 21 cars lined up and ready to go. There is the green flag, and Linda has had a really, really good reaction to that. But I tell you who has as well is Bray in that 888 McLaren, looking all over the road. Bray's looking for a way past Junior. Does he have that run? I think he might. Let's have a look down towards turn 1. Are we going to see any carnage? Looks like we're maybe keeping it clean, mostly. Yes, I think everyone lived. Everyone lived! Intensely brilliant. If you like that everyone lived to turn 1, make sure to smash that like button. I genuinely didn't expect that. But Bray has gotten past Linda for P1. I tell you who hasn't had a great start is Fernando in that 23 McLaren, dropping down to P8. Airy also hasn't had a great start, qualified P8 and has dropped down to P12. Fernando now down to P9. Really struggling off the start in that McLaren. Unfortunate for him. Trying to overtake Vandenbroek. Does he get that move done? Yes, he does. Solidifies himself in P8 for now. Tippy Boss has fallen down the order a little bit at the start of this race as well. Not what he will have wanted. But overall, this is some brilliant racing as Stevens makes a beautiful move up the inside of Garrow there. The number 100 Mercedes AMG going up the inside of the 98 BMW as O'Sullivan makes a move on Jones, forces him off the track. Maybe Fanara looking for an opportunity there as well, doesn't quite get it unfortunately for him. Looking towards the front as O'Sullivan has made that overtake on Jones, although I'm not entirely sure how legal it was. Oh, that's a big lunge from Fanara. Yeah, forces Jones off the track. That is not an overtaking spot. Anyone with brain cells to rub together knows that, really. But Fanara does have the run and is going to get that move done on Jones. And quite possibly so is Fernando. He's had a run out of that final corner. He might get one, if not both of these guys. No, it doesn't look like he's able to at this point. Jones, I think, just a little bit annoyed about that chicane move, as Fanara has dropped outside of a second already of this leading group. It'll be interesting to see whether people are going for the overcut or the undercut in this race. Lots of these gaps opening up now as Junior starts to stretch his legs ahead of the 888 McLaren. Although Bray reeling that gap back in a little bit as he keeps coming. Not much going on down the order, lots of just kind of following, waiting for the moment to make a move. Brooken has the fastest lap at the moment, although I think that's just probably been taken away by, yes, Junior. Indeed it has, a 44.0 for race pace. 3/10 faster than both of the cars behind him. And I think the battle here is going to be for P2. With Lindner looking all over the back as Van Dijk gets past Kolgov. Yes, he does, the number 11 McLaren now in P11. Kolgov possibly looking for a way back past, but turn 3 is a difficult one to make a move stick, and he's not going to. Jones dropping off the back of Fanara, who's pulled up to the back of O'Sullivan after that gap extended to about 1.3 seconds. Still looking for where the small gaps are in this field at the moment. The answer is pretty much all over the place. There are not many drivers that have a big gap around them at the moment. Lindner still sticking to the back of Bray, but these guys now starting to space themselves out as well. Could see a battle here with Fanara and O'Sullivan next time down towards turn 1 as Stevens makes a move past Garrow. He'd already made that move. I'm assuming that was a defence reaction into turn 10. As here they come across the line. Does Fanara have any sort of a run on O'Sullivan? It doesn't look like it this time. That gap's still about 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second. Not enough to get anything done for Fanara this time round. And Van Dijk sits in P10. Oh, big lag spike there. Was that me? I hope that wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. Good. Oh wow, my voice is starting to go. Yes, P10 for Van Dijk at the moment. Fanara looking for a move maybe on O'Sullivan. 0.2 is the gap as it stands. Really close through that turn 7 and 8 chicane. Peaver goes off in front of them. Does that give O'Sullivan a little bit of a saving grace? With a little bit more toe, it doesn't look like it's going to. Further down the order, Kolgov looking to get past Van Dijk again. Oh, Van Dijk almost goes into the back of Van den Broek. Manages to keep it clean, thankfully. Looking back towards the top, Fanara still looking to get past O'Sullivan, but that McLaren has a better pull out of that final chicane at the moment, or does it? Here we go. The gap's 2/10. Fanara has got the run. The gap is 1/10. Are we going to see a move into turn 1 here from Fanara? I think we might. Does he pop out? Yes, he does. And that is a move very nicely done there. Very, very nicely done indeed from those two. Fanara gets past and Potter gets past Fasttail as well, and so is maybe Tippy Boss. No, he's going to go out of track limits instead. Although here comes Fasttail back on the inside of Potter. Oh, that was tight. And Stevens and Garrowil are fighting again as well. Garrowil on the inside. Nothing going there for Stevens, unfortunately. Fanara now closing in on the back of Peaver. The gap is just 1/10 of a second. Does he go for the switch back on exit, or is he going to try and hold it around the outside of the hairpin? He holds it around the outside of the hairpin, and he's now going to have the inside for turn. Oh, contact! Oh, big contact. Nothing Fanara could have done there to avoid that. Just needs to keep rolling. That was Peaver that caused that collision, I believe. And Fernando randomly drops down the order. Not sure what happened to him. But immediately looking to get past Peaver. Which he does through turn 2 and 3. And he keeps the advantage through turn 4, and he'll have the move sealed now into turn 5 with the inside line. Yes, he does. 5-second penalty for car number 911. Interesting, not sure what that's for. I will have a scout and see what it was for. Sorry that I'm not talking too much, ladies and gentlemen. I can feel my voice fading on me. So I'm just trying to keep it relatively relaxed at the moment. I don't want my voice to die. I can feel it in my throat that it's starting to go. So I'm just going to keep it relatively relaxed for this stream. A little bit less of the excitement and shouting than you guys are used to. But unfortunately that's just going to have to be how it is. I need to keep my voice in a decent condition, so... Fasttail now right on the back of Potter. I'm going to keep an eye on what that penalty was for. Here it is. Car number 911, 5-second penalty, causing a collision with car number 17, forcing them off the track and then not giving the position back on lap 5. As Van Dijk and Van den Broek fight into turn 1, I think Van Dijk is going to come out on top in that particular duel. Yes, he is. I'm going to scroll back and try and find where that contact was so that we can watch it. Here it is. But I don't think I'm able to get a replay on it. No, unfortunately, it doesn't look like I am. I want to be able to see... Oh, here we go. I can get a replay of it. The number 17 and the 911 contact. Here we go. Let's have a look at it. Oh, I'm on board with the wrong car to look at it. Hold on. I always do this. I need to be on board with one of the cars that was involved in the collision. Where's the 911? There he is. Right, let's hop on board with Graham Potter, because then I can actually watch this contact properly. Here we go. Number 17, that is Airy fast out. Oh, dives into turn 1. Oh, yeah, forces the driver off the track. And then does not cede position. Yeah, that is totally fair enough. Totally fair penalty. 45 minutes to go. I'm not sure if my voice is going to keep it up for that long. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I think I might have to go before then, because I can feel it getting weaker and weaker on me. Here we go, Jones coming up the inside into turn 1. That is going to be a move done past O'Sullivan. And Jones climbing back up the order after that contact with Fanara at the final chicane. Oh, almost there as well in turn 3. Oh, as Vandenbroek has gone around at turn 1. Let's have a little replay of that. What happened? Was it on his own, or was there help? Oh, there was help. There was major help from the number 11 McLaren of Kolgov. That was big contact there. As Tippy Boss now gets past Kolgov. Potter still ahead of Airy Fastow. You thought he might have just given that position back when the incident happened, but he didn't. Still some very close fighting going on. Out the front, Junior is leading by 4.6 seconds, 4.7-ish. Oh, as Jones has an issue coming through turn 12, loses the position to... Oh, let's have a look. Was there maybe something that happened with O'Sullivan there, because he had got past? No, O'Sullivan retook the position, and then Jones... Oh, just too much on that curb. Yeah, that is a pain. It happens to the best of us, unfortunately. And let's have a look down the order. Jones looking to get past Peaver again, work back up to where he was originally. No move this time for the Bentley. Oh! Peaver goes way deep and forces Fernando to get out of it. That was mental from Peaver. He just dove right into that gap. Dove straight into that gap, and it didn't go well. And Tippy Boss is around. Let's have a look what's happened here. Tippy Boss fighting Airy Fasttail. Does he go round on his own and then get collected? He does go round on his own. Oh, avoids that inside barrier. Everyone avoids him as well. That is brilliant work from everyone on track to avoid that spinning car of Tippy Boss as Vandenbroek comes into the pits. I don't know if this is to repair damage or just for a standard pit stop, as Jones is now looking to get past Peaver. 2.3 seconds back from the little pack in front. Jones needs to get this move done sooner rather than later, really. He is faster on a clean lap. But nothing going at the moment. Unfortunately for Jones, the gap is growing down the straight rather than shrinking. 15-second penalty for car number 11. Yep, that'll be for the collision that we saw earlier on down at turn 1. Let me find that. It would have been with the 226 car, I believe. But we'll wait for the steward's report to come through so that I can double check that I am correct in that. But yes, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I think I am going to have to go relatively soon. I can feel my voice fading out on me, unfortunately. I am going to try and stick with it, but it is just having to speak softer and softer to keep it alive. If I was talking at my normal level, it probably would have been gone by now. Jones still trying to get past Peaver, but at the moment there's nothing going there. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to switch to the auto cam and turn off my microphone because I am just, yeah, it's just not working for me at the moment, unfortunately. My voice is dying off. So I am just gonna switch it to the auto cam, and unfortunately I am going to have to go just because my voice is dying off in a major way, as you can hear. So thanks a lot for being here with me tonight. If you can give me a sympathy like, that'd be brilliant, but unfortunately I just can't stick with it anymore. My voice is just completely dying off. So we are now in auto cam, and I'll be heading off in just a second or so. I just want to see if Jones does get this move done or not. He's got a decent run, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. It looks like he will. Towards turn 1, does he go to the outside? He's forced to by Peaver. Good defence. And then... no, it doesn't work around the outside. Almost contact, and Fernando is back in this hunt again as well. Oh, Jones gets wide, gets wiggly. Does Fernando cut back on the exit of turn 3 and get the better run? No, it doesn't look like it. Well, thank you very much for being here with me, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you sometime next week when my voice is in a better capability than it currently is. So thank you very much.